What would it be like to wake up every morning and meet the same people for the first time? To carry on a conversation and then forget it as soon as it ends? It was the daily reality of one of the most famous patients in neuroscience history, Henry Molaison, or better known as Patient H.M. In 1953, Henry was 27 years old and desperate. He had suffered from epileptic seizures for over a decade, and they were getting worse. They were violent, unpredictable, and unresponsive to medication. So he agreed to an experimental surgery. Surgeons removed large portions of his medial temporal lobes, including the hippocampus, a structure deep in the brain that at the time wasn't well understood. The seizures improved, but something else happened. Henry could no longer form new long-term memories. He remembered his childhood and the events leading up to the surgery, but almost nothing afterward. He would meet you, chat with you, and if you left the room and came back 5 minutes later, he'd greet you like a stranger. Despite this profound memory loss, Henry was intelligent, polite, and mentally alert. He could hold a conversation, had a normal IQ, and knew how to play cards. But he couldn't form new memories. And yet, this wasn't total amnesia. His short-term memory worked fine. He could remember a number or a sentence for about 15 to 30 seconds, just like anyone else. But as soon as he got distracted, it vanished. This created a rare and vivid case, a man permanently anchored to the present moment, constantly reintroduced to his own life. Psychologist Brenda Milner, working with neurosurgeon William Scoville, began studying Henry shortly after the surgery. Through him, they discovered something unexpected. Not all memory is the same. In one famous experiment, Henry was asked to trace the outline of a star while looking only in a mirror, a tricky task. He got better over time, even though he had no memory of ever doing the task before. This showed that he could form procedural memories, the kind involved in habits and skills, even though he couldn't form episodic memories, which are about events and experiences. This single insight changed the study of memory forever. Before Henry, memory was seen as one monolithic process, but his case showed that memory is made of different systems. There is episodic memories, which is basically remembering experiences, semantic memories, like knowing facts, procedural memories, like learning skills, and working memory, holding thoughts in your mind for a short period of time. Henry's hippocampus had been essential for turning short-term experiences into long-term memories. But it wasn't needed to play the piano, learn to trace shapes, or remember things for a few seconds. His mind had become a map of separate systems, some intact, some broken, and researchers could study them as if lit up by a spotlight. Henry lived until 2008, dying at age 82. He never remembered the scientists who studied him, even after decades of work together, but they remembered him, not just as a subject, but as a person. After his death, his brain was frozen and sliced into 2,401 pieces in a high-resolution imaging project now called the Brain Observatory. Today, it's one of the most detailed anatomical records of a human brain ever created. Henry's life was defined by a lack of memory, but his contribution to science will never be forgotten. Just a quick word before we end this video. I noticed that many of you who regularly watch haven't subscribed yet, and getting more subscribers really is the best way for me to keep making these videos possible. And it won't cost you a penny. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow and allows me to create more of these videos for you. Thanks for your support, and thanks for watching.